Well, good morning, everybody. Mark Finan here in the home weather office on this Friday morning. It is now the 26th day of April, 2024. This is the morning briefing coming to you from the home weather office. And as I look out the window, had some sun, now have some clouds. And today is going to be another one of those mostly cloudy, cool days. Cool for this time of year. Temperatures upper 60s, maybe as high as 70 if we squeeze out enough sunshine. Cooler, of course, in the foothills. And there's been snow in the Sierra during the overnight, and we'll continue to see snow showers in the Sierra above 6,000 or 7,000 feet as we go through the morning hours today, and again, maybe this afternoon. The big question for today is whether or not we're going to see thunderstorms in the valley. And then again, if we do see them, where and when might we see them? Well, it does look as though the atmosphere is going to be relatively unstable this afternoon, meaning that if we do start to get anything in the way of lift, we could see thunderstorms. You know, the atmosphere will start to lift some of that moisture, and it goes up to 20, 25,000 feet. The temperatures there are quite cold, and we will see perhaps some downpours and some small hail, thunder and lightning, and that sort of thing. So let's show you what's happening this morning. Again, a fair amount of cloud cover, especially banked up over the west slope. There are some areas that do have a bit of clearing, but that's not going to last very long. And see this little area up in here? And you notice the flow dropping down from the north. This is colder air in here. And as that colder air goes over Northern California this afternoon, well, I should say continues to move over Northern California this afternoon, we will be seeing the atmosphere get destabilized. At the west slope, I think especially areas above Highway 49, it's going to be tough to see any sunshine today. It's just going to be cool. And as I mentioned, we are seeing some snow in the Sierra. As that colder air comes in, we will be seeing the possibility of some thunderstorms developing. So just like yesterday, I'll show you the HRRR and the NAM Nest. HRRR looks a little bit different from what we saw yesterday, although it performed pretty well yesterday. Let's see, just going to make sure I'm on the 12Z run. Nope, on the 14Z run. Let's go back to the 12Z run. All right, so it performed pretty well yesterday. This is today around the middle part of the day. You can see these snow showers in the Sierra up in here. And then the HRRR is a little bit different from yesterday's solution for today. This is around 4 o'clock this afternoon. That would be a thunderstorm, that would be a thunderstorm, that would be a thunderstorm. But what the model is still trying to show today is with this developing north flow that we're going to have, quite often what we see in this pattern is the thunderstorms develop over the crest of and the east side of the Coast Range. So think of a thunderstorm developing, let's say near Lake County or maybe near Lake Berryessa, and then with north flow, they just kind of coast down the western side of the valley, impacting areas like Solano County, so Fairfield, Vacaville, Dixon, and all the way down toward the Livermore area, and then maybe getting into Patterson or maybe even Modesto into the afternoon. So that's different than having them up the middle part of the valley or banking against the foothills. That's if this is correct. But that's a rather familiar pattern because not only do we have the unstable atmosphere, but then you also get the additional lift that you need up over the higher elevations of the Coast Range. So if this scenario is correct, places like Sacramento and Roseville would not see a thunderstorm this afternoon, but we would see them in the places I mentioned, like Fairfield, Rio Vista, Discovery Bay, that sort of thing, maybe seeing an afternoon downpour. And then once we get into the night tonight, everything clears out and dries up. We'll get more into the weekend here in just a minute. All right, so that's the way the HRRR shows it. Let's take a look at the way the NAM Nest shows you. You might remember yesterday the NAM Nest was not all that impressed with the possibility of thunderstorms this afternoon. This is showing some scattered showers developing in the valley during the middle part of the day. And then here too, this is around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, perhaps showing a thunderstorm here developing in that same area around Clear Lake and down toward the Lake Berryessa area, and maybe drifting down over the valley. But it certainly does not look like it's going to be one of those widespread thunderstorm sort of days. And the concern here about thunderstorms isn't the thunderstorm itself. I mean, yeah, you see some heavy downpours and a couple of flashes of lightning and some small hail and that sort of thing, but nothing that lasts all that long. The bigger concern here with thunderstorms for many of you is the fact that your pets get frightened and that sort of thing. So if you're in that case where either you personally don't like thunderstorms or your pets don't like thunderstorms, it's not one of those days where we're going to see them everywhere. And we know those days. We see them from Chico and Roseville, and we see them in Stockton, Modesto, and the foothills. We see them everywhere. Today's not that day. Today, there may be a couple that pop up in the afternoon. But again, the models seem to be leaning toward the west side of the valley as opposed to the east side of the valley. And really in those hours between about 3 and maybe 6 p.m. And then after that, things would shut down pretty quickly. But again, there is a little bit of difference here in the models for this afternoon, as you might expect. But then once we get into tonight and into the weekend, everything clears out. There's a little passing wave that goes by on Saturday night that may be providing us a few clouds, but that would be about it. And so with that in mind, let's go ahead and take a look at the 500 millibar chart to show you what's going on, and then this will get us into next week as well. So here's the wave that's going by today with that north flow. It brings down that colder air. But then very quickly, as we get into the night tonight and during the day tomorrow, we start getting into what we call ridging, right? And here, warm air advection, temperatures begin to warm. Here is that little wave that goes by on Saturday night, right there. And then as we get into the day Sunday, another one goes by to our north, keeping temperatures from getting too warm. We'll be in the 70s. It'll be perfect to be outside this weekend. And then next week, a system goes by to our north once again, keeping temperatures from warming up all that much. But then once we get into the middle part and end of next week, then it looks as though we could get into some ridging that brings temperatures back up to around 80 or higher as we get toward the end of next week. This is next Saturday. So yeah, next weekend, right now anyway, it looks as though it could be rather nice. Next weekend, of course, the first weekend of May, popular weekend to be outside. Cinco de Mayo is next weekend. So right now, anyway, next weekend looks pretty good. And even this weekend looks okay. So today, the biggest issue is going to be the possibility of thunderstorms. But again, not a widespread event. But some locations may see maybe a downpour 3, 4, 5 o'clock this afternoon. We'll keep an eye on that with radar as we go through this afternoon. So let's see. That's everything I've got for you this morning. I hope you enjoy your weekend. I'll enjoy my weekend. And I'm looking forward to getting back and being a productive citizen next week, actually putting on a suit and tie and being back in the office next week. But in the meantime, that's everything I've got for you from the home office this morning. Make it a great day. Have a great weekend. I'll talk with you later.